when I call the Queen of England a hunchback Skeksis, I've been sitting over a microphone for 18 years. I've kind of got the beginnings of a hunchback. And I got a lot of old folks I love that have hunchbacks. My point is that the globalists are really evil caricatures of like evil witches. And you got Quasimodo, the lovable hunchback. My point is that they're wicked, they're twisted, they're inbred, they're hateful. They're always digging up dead little kids on their property. I mean, it's just, these are sick filth. I mean, they really are sick filth, and they've decided the whole planet's theirs. And they're in charge because they're intelligent and ruthless. And it's time for us to stop being such just pushovers. Good men have stood down and let evil take over. And it's time to reverse the tide, okay? That's what I'm saying. And the battle for civilization is going to be fought, and it's going to start here in America. You know that. The greatest evil is here, the greatest good is here. People ask, why is there that paradox? It's always that way. History's happening right now, folks. It's time to get aggressive. I don't call it arrogant. It's not arrogance. It's that you're in the right and you are standing up, and don't be timid. The number one thing is be confident in your fight for liberty. Notice they're always telling us be timid. Oh, be timid in politics. That's how you get ahead. Meanwhile, they're all arrogant and aggressive because they are running the show. Let's talk to Scott in California. You're on the air, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. I just had I've been a diabetic for 27 years. I got it from a vaccine when I was 5. Doctors obviously didn't tell me that. But my question was, do you know anything about cures that have happened, but they don't go public because the companies can't make any money off of a cured disease? Hello?
Yes, sir, I'm listening to you. Your phone was breaking up a bit. Go ahead. You're asking me a question?
I had a question about...
being a diabetic?
Yeah, and just if there's any cures out there and these things have been kind of covered up. I know somebody that's high up in a cancer company. And
well, listen, I want to explain this. There are a lot of treatments that have been proven in many studies to help with cancer, to help with diabetes. Some people can reverse, depending on the type of diabetes they have, or slow it down. Ray Kurzweil says he's cured his. Undoubtedly, a lot of it's diet. But if your pancreas is already completely shot, or depending, I've had medical doctors on, I'm no expert on this, it depends. But anybody that says we can diagnose cancer, we can cure it, we can, 100% is full of baloney. Undoubtedly, there are a lot of vitamins, minerals, treatments, things that if you just get off the GMO, you get off the aspartame, you get off the processed sugar, you start exercising, you stop eating the gluten. I mean, a lot of people on record are able to reverse it and control it down to the point where the doctors go, well, you're in remission, but you still have it. Because technically they don't want to say it can be cured because it can always come back. But we know this. Diabetes is up several thousand percentage points from what it was just a few decades ago. You can look that up yourself. So the biggest thing is don't get it to begin with. And, of course, some of it is genetic, but it's kind of like a you can have a genetic predisposition to be extremely skinny. Or you could have a genetic what do you call it, to, like, go bald or something like that. But if you do certain things, it makes you not go bald as quick. Or so there's mitigating things. They want to make it all about, well, you've just got this genetically, so that's why, you've got diabetes now. Not know with your genetics, if you eat a bunch of processed sugar, it's over. I mean, it's like Native Americans on average, with their genetics on average, are known to not be able to handle alcohol. That's a fact. Whereas a Northern European that come from thousands of years of people drinking like fish, everybody that couldn't handle it already died. So people passed on genetic traits to be able to drink a lot more. Yeah. So again, that's what we're talking about here.
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Yeah. INFOWARS.com.
My judge, what is the secret of the universe?
INFOWARS.com.
don't think the Soviets killing more than 60 million people, Mao upwards of 80 million, is hell on earth and the devil running wild, I don't know what is. And we got hardcore globalists here that really want to wreck this country and come after everybody. And to all the middle-class people out there, I don't care what color you are, who you are, you're going to lose everything under the New World Order. I mean, if no one will stand up to the foreign banks, they will take everything and go move it to Switzerland or a few other safe zones like Luxembourg. Okay? I mean, this is what they'll do, so you need to understand that. I'm going to go to some of your phone calls ahead of our guests joining us. But they just get people to buy into the idea that it's cool to be for tyranny. We have a video up on INFOWARS.com. Obama supporters signed a petition to put carcinogens in the water for Obama. And as long as you say, for Obama, they do it. Let's kill babies, for Obama. Let's arrest gun owners, for Obama. Let's have a new Holocaust, for Obama. They sign it. Let's ban water, for Obama. And they just go, for Obama, for Obama. And you go, hey, you know, the health care bill's written to rip you off. Hey, you know, government involvement in health care is what made it get so expensive to begin with, just like education. Hey, you know, this has happened before. Hey, by the way, why do you think big banks are financing this? Shut up, racist. And it's just, they're literally just dumb, unintellectual people that walk around watching MSNBC and believe they're intellectual, and then their answer to you is, don't show off, racist. That's a lot of smart talk, racist. And you're like, actually, I will... get out of my way, racist. They're really pathetic. And just because they're pathetic doesn't mean I have to be their slave. Just because they can get a majority of people to want to be run over by the New World Order doesn't mean it has to happen to us. We have individual God-given rights, folks. Frank in North Carolina, you're on the air, sir. I appreciate you calling in today.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. I just wanted to speak briefly to your, primarily, specifically to your young new listeners, veterans, and active duty military. I've been listening to talk radio for about 23 years now, and pretty much heard it all. I was a big Rush Limbaugh follower for 16 years, so I know his whole diatribe. I know all of that. But there's a general that you probably didn't learn about in basic training or boot camp, and his name is Smedley Butler. He was a Marine Corps general. He was a two-time recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor. You might want to go look him up on the Internet. His name is Smedley Butler, B-U-T-L-E-R. He wrote a little book called War is a Racket, and that's exactly what it was then, and it's exactly what it is today. But I wanted to, you know, for the young listeners out there that are new to all this, there are these war cheerleaders on mainstream talk radio. You know, Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Glenn Beck, Bill O'Reilly. I go on and on and on. For the past 20 years on my local radio stations, there's one thing all of these people have in common. Not one of them ever served in the United States military. You might want to think about that and go look up what Smedley Butler said.
Well, notice that Smedley Darlington Butler, Frank, also stopped a coup that was planned by people in the U.S. government, namely Prescott Bush was the German front guy, and was able to stop it. They tried to hire him because he was an anti-communist at the time. The argument was, hey, we'll have a Nazi-fascist government instead of the communist. So they always give you those different choices of tyranny. And he said, how about America? How about a republic? And he was able to blow the whistle on it, and they had the McCormick-Dickstein committee hearings about it later, but it got swept under the rug because it was such a big deal. And I'm not defending Prescott Bush either, but at the time, you know, Hitler was like Man of the Year in Time magazine, in like 37 and 39. He was a great guy. So, you know, that's how Prescott Bush got his power, was being one of their head bankers here in the U.S. But under the Harrimans and others, they were going to have a coup in the U.S. And when that failed, they came up with the plan of COG. If they could build a continuity of government system to stop a foreign takeover, they could use that program just like they tried to use it in Operation Valkyrie against Hitler. Legitimately, they were going to use COG illegitimately to take over America. And that's what Homeland Security is COG. And the COG is now heating up and dissolving the old republic. Because you had the old republic still there like an old bridge. and they built a new bridge that's tyranny, and now they're tearing down the old bridge. We're now going into that process. Does that make sense to you, caller?
Yeah. Did you ever get that information back in January of 2009 where Rush Limbaugh went on that rant where he explained that he'd been lying all these years, and he started talking about the New World Order, CFR, Bilderbergs, how there was this elite group of people that actually controlled that the president, Congress.
Yeah, I think that was dark. I think that was dark satire, though.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at INFOWARS.com/show.